to important assembly. My name is Comrade Musa Magaji, the Executive Youth Governor-elect of Kochi State, vying for the position of the next president reality show organized by the SRT. I take interest to contest for the next president because I have vision for Nigeria in the near future. My vision for Nigeria is to strive towards achieving a united, peaceful and prosperous nation, where everyone can have access to quality education, healthcare, infrastructure, economic opportunity, and social justice. A nation where our diverse cultures are celebrated and respected, and where everyone will be treated with dignity and respect. A nation where our leaders will be held accountable for their action and determined towards serving their people. A nation that is active, responsible, and respected member of the global community. My dear indispensable people of Nigeria, today I will want to not only present my policy documents if elected as the next president, but as one of you who understand your problems and ready to be committed towards solving these lingering problems. With my wealth of experience and expertise that I have acquired in the previous capacities that I have served, with this, without any iota of doubt, has made me the best and the outstanding candidate to be the next president and the one you can trust. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to present my vision for a united, peaceful and prosperous Nigeria. This vision is based on 4 key areas. 1, quality education. 2, universal health care. 3, economic opportunity. And 4, social justice. By achieving the aforementioned areas, I think we can create a country that is truly a beacon of hope and opportunity for all citizens. I invite you to consider my ideas and join me in making this vision a reality. On the subject matter of quality education, here are some of the specific strategies we will need to implement and achieve this goal. 1, ensuring that schools have adequate facilities, including modern technology, well-equipped laboratories and libraries. Secondly, providing training and professional development opportunities for teachers, as well as competitive salaries and benefits to attract and retain high-quality educators. And thirdly, making sure that students have access to computers, internet connectivity, and other technologies that can support their learning. For universal health care, we need to focus on 1, facilitating a national public health insurance program that covers all citizens regardless of our economic status. Fostering a primary care services that are accessible to all, including preventive care and chronic disease management. Ensuring that hospitals are well equipped with well-staffed with a focus on improving quality health. Recognizing that mental health is an essential component of our overall health. And for the economic opportunity, we need to 1, improve transportation, power, agricultural sector, and communication network to facilitate the flow of goods, services, and people. Secondly, create an enabling environment that is fair for foreign investors with policies that encourage investment and job creation. Thirdly, provide support for small and medium enterprises, including access to financing, training, and mentorship for our youth. And for social justice, we need to focus on the following areas. One, ensuring that all citizens have equal access to rights and opportunities regardless of race, gender, and our religious differences. Establishing a robust judicial system that is essential for all, with a focus to reducing corruption and improving transparency. In conclusion, achieving the vision of a united, peaceful, and prosperous Nigeria will require a concerted effort from all stakeholders, including governments, private sectors, and civil society. If we are opportune to achieve this, and we are successful in achieving this, we can create a country that is truly a beacon of hope and opportunity for all its citizens. My dear good people of Nigeria, agricultural sector have contributed immensely to the development of Nigeria and also the development of our economy. Power sector has been left behind. What are we to do? Nigeria are having 23 thermal units so far that are having the capacity of producing over 11,000 megawatts. But today, what are we producing? Only 5,000 megawatts. Nigeria is having the largest power dissemination sector that is situated in Lagos, with the capacity of producing over 1,000 megawatts. If we have the capacity of feeding our neighboring countries, then why are Nigerians complaining of power supply? Why? How do we solve this? Number one, we need to fight corruption. Thank you for listening. I remain your loyal and humble servant, Honorable Science Wakaji, the Executive Youth Governor of Bauchi State.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Thank you so much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen,
so that we'll concentrate on the
it is
scoring.
a competition.
So let the DJ be calculating for us so that
Where
we will
youth
concentrate on the
governors
scoring.
are announcing their plans,
composed.
they become the president, while the judges are doing their work.
Is it time?
So now I have the
something?
honor of calling on the next presidential aspirants under this platform to come on stage to deliver his own manifesto for what he wants Nigeria to be if he happens to be the next president. I have the honor of inviting the Excellency from Nasarawa State,
thank you, MC. Your Excellencies, invited guests, judges, gentlemen and ladies. I am by name Sheikh Saad Abubakar, the youngest and the most qualified candidate of the next president's reality show organized by SRCT. I'm here to present you my manifesto, which I term the path of Nigeria. Of course, I won't get more on the problems we face as a Nigeria, because that is why we're here. I'll focus on how to solve the problem, and my goal that if elected as Nigeria president, to have a prosperous and a better Nigeria, which I term a green Nigeria. Dear Nigerians, you will believe with me that Nigeria with more than 200 million population, with natural resources of more than 120 meters square of land, which 80% of this land is fertile, but still we are battling on economy and we are still battling on security. If we should look at the major challenges we have, I want you all to believe with me that if I focus on 3 sectors, just 3 sectors, I'll be able to reconstruct and improve Nigeria to be the best in Africa and among the best in the world. And these sectors I'll focus on are economy, education, and security. If we talk about power sector, of course, there's no way we can improve our power sector without having a good economy. There's no way we can improve our youth and sports sector without having good economy. There's no way we can improve any sector basically without having resources. So therefore, I think if we focus on these 3 sectors, we'll be able to reconstruct Nigeria for the betterment of all. As a young politician, I believe if we restore the trust of our democratic processes, we will be able to do all this. From economy, you need to understand that economy is of 2 angles: macro economy and microeconomics. These are the 2 angles that economy deals with. In the microeconomics, it happens with the small, or let me say the businesses, job creation and others. But macroeconomics is what we call, let's say like in Nigeria, policies formulated by CBN. So I will dwell on these 2 angles. In the microeconomics, I will make sure that there is abundant job creation, focusing on agriculture. Because before now, agriculture was the leading sector in Nigeria in terms of contribution to GDP. So it is unfortunate now that going by the value of petroleum, agriculture, as at this 2023, is still contributing just 23% of our GDP. So, as elected as Nigerian president, I will improve our agricultural sector by equipping our agricultural research institutions to bring out improved seed varieties, that is quality varieties, agricultural extension services that will educate our local farmers, because local farmers are the major contributors to our agricultural sector. They constitute about 70% of our total production. So agricultural extension that will take this our villages of the modern agricultural sector. Also, emphasis will be made on the livestock fishing, because today one of the most consumed livestock is poultry. And with the Nigerian population, it is a very simple skill that we can be able to educate our youth to engage in agricultural activities. And I believe if we are able to resolve the issue of agriculture and other sectors of economy that will contribute to both micro and macro economies of the country, we will be able to have a prosperous economy, and Nigeria will have more resources to also invest in other sectors like power sector. Power sector is very, very important. So, going further, I will ensure that we have security. Security, to my understanding, it is only 3 angles. The government, which are the policy makers, the stakeholders, which are the community people, ranging from the religious leaders, traditional rulers, and we, the civilians, then the security personnel. These are just 3 angles of security. So, the criminals now, of all forms, are in the center. So if there is a proper coordination between government, security personnel, and community, we will be able to fish out the response we have now in the center. So if elected as Nigerian president, I will make sure that I have a security architecture that will involve these 3 sectors. And of course, with this information, I believe we will be able to resolve and sensitize even our DSS and police. And if we are able to do this, we must also ensure that we have social justice reform and many more. Further on to education, if I enter as Nigeria, what I will do differently is I will make sure that private sectors take charge of tertiary institutions. And of course, as a passionate Nigeria, I will also make sure that I discourage education policy because it is not healthy for our economy. So of course, I will invest more on education after building more institutions, equip our institution, and then transfer it to private organizations to operate. That is the tertiary institutions. When secondary institutions, of course, I will limit the state governors to anti-secondary schools. Well, thank you. I believe with this point, you will be able to see that if elected as the Nigerian president, I will be the best person to reconstruction Nigeria and the poor most please.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. The Youth Executive Governor of Nasarawa State, kindly let's put our hands together for him. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is getting more and more interesting. And I am now calling on the next Youth Executive Governor to deliver his manifesto in front of us all. And I have the honor of inviting the Youth Executive Governor from Adamawa State.
Fellow compatriots, panel of incorruptible judges, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to say indeed, it is an aesthetic gathering. And I'll begin by saying my name is Fanuel Tokusambabale. I am from Adamawa State, Nigeria. Permit me to tell you for free that I am the most experienced, the most qualified, and the most influential presidential candidate. Beginning, we'll be presenting to you a well-crafted, well-researched policy document tagged the workable roadmap for Nigeria. You will agree with me that it is indeed security is the most vital and important sector of Nigeria. Because if we are not secured, economy cannot blossom. So therefore, we know that Nigeria has a long history of insecurity, ranging from the Niger Delta militants down to the Boko Haram in the northeast, then to the kidnappers in the northwest. But it is simple. When brought on board as the president of Nigeria, what we will do is to ensure that we involve the community whereby all these crimes are being perpetrated into the security system. Because you will agree with me, I'm from the northeastern part of Nigeria, that it is when the JTF was introduced that the Boko Haram has recorded a large number of success being tackled. So therefore, we will incorporate or create an atmosphere for community residents to be involved in decision making when it comes to security in their community. Secondly, we'll be looking at the educational sector. In Nigeria, in 36 states currently, we have most of them running free education for secondary and primary schools. But it is disheartening that our universities' prices are skyrocketing day by day. What we intend to do in that sector is to ensure that we provide scholarship for well-doing students graduating from secondary school heading to their tertiary institutions. This scholarship will be ensured to be a process, ensuring that it is the children of the poor that are given scholarship, not repeating our mistakes of having well-to-do parents and then still giving government scholarship. What we intend to also do is to have access to grants. These grants can be accessible for individuals and loans we will liaise with financial institutions to grant them loans. Secondly, looking at the Nigerian economic sector, what we intend to do is to diversify from oil. We all know that it is seen oil is the new wealth. But indeed, let me tell you, Nigeria has recorded a large number of success under the Buhari's administration venturing into agriculture, and we can do more. Because under his administration, he focused mainly on rice. But I can tell you for free that Nigeria had a blossoming economy when it had cocoa and the likes of them. Louis Luis was one of the people that was recorded as the richest man then in the 90s. He was into stockfish marketing. So it is indeed that we have to diversify our economy, looking away from oil, because it is getting to a point whereby every nation is discovering oil, and we cannot compete in the international market. So we have to do something different. And it has always been our strength to focus on agriculture. So therefore, what we intend to do here is to modernize the agricultural system, letting it not to look as if it's only the poor that venture into agriculture, because it is one of the reasons why we have a dilapidated agricultural sector, because it is only the poor man that ventures into agriculture. But with well funding, I've seen a person who does dry season farming and makes millions out of it. It is the new wealth, and I want every good meaning Nigerian that has the wealth, that has the resources to venture into agriculture. Then thirdly, we'll be looking at the issue of power. My administration, our administration, will be bringing on board ensuring that we divert from hydropower. There are other renewable energies which are environmental friendly. Now, example, we have the biomass. The biomass talks about using the natural available plants to generate power. This particular form of power is environmental friendly. And we can see at the end of the day we have a clean environment because waste from our environment are being gathered and used to generate power. Then secondly, we look at the windmill. We have abundance of wind which is free from God, which definitely, if we have the materials God on board, we can generate power. Thirdly, we have the solar power, which if you look at, it is recorded in one of the research conducted by the Islamic IBTC on power. It is said Nigeria record 2,600 hours daily, annually of sunlight, which if you convert it, we'll be having daily about generated 5,300 megawatts, which is higher than what Nigeria generates daily. So looking at it, sunlight is free. We don't need to purchase it. All we need to do is to bring in equipment, set it and get solar power only. Though it is expensive, but it is not impossible. Because Nigeria has sunlight. If you are coming from the northeastern part of Nigeria, we used to make tests of Maiduguri, like sweet snare from Maiduguri to Hellfire, which definitely shows you that it's high sunlight. If we utilize it, we can generate power. Dear fellow Nigerians, I want you to know that we are on the course of taking Nigeria to a workable road path, which only it can be not only be achievable with only me myself, but every well-meaning Nigerian must come on course, because they say Nigeria can only get better with Nigerians. We must get involved in the process. Then finally, I want to tell us that we will be initiating a system whereby we will be totally eliminating corruption, especially in the area of job employment, because my administration will be ensuring that we eliminate religion and ethnicity from the application portal of every job application in Nigeria, ensuring that only the qualified, if it means having 10 people from one state and qualified to be in that position, they should be. Therefore, our application portal will solely have only your name, qualification, and what you can bring on board. Religion, state, ethnicity will totally be eliminated. Therefore, giving a competent platform for everybody to compete, not tending to look at me as an Adamawa man, checking the application portal, trying to consider a person from Adamawa. Therefore, I don't even know where you're coming from. Therefore, application will solely be based on competence. Thank you very much, Nigerians. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, Youth Executive Governor Adamawa State. Thank you so much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, before we go to the next item, let me take another Youth Executive Governor. This time around, the Youth Executive Governor from Kogi State.
Fellow Nigerians, in the echoing chamber of history, you can find the greatness of Nigeria that has come from the shared determination of greatness. I stand before you today, not merely as a candidate, but because I am an advocate of progress, a believer in sustainability, and an ardent believer in the Nigerian project. My name is Sani Chibulos Obade, the Executive Governor of Kogi State, and an aspirant for the next president under the platform of the People's Oriented Party, POP. Problems of Nigeria are diverse, and I think solving them will have to allow us to solve these problems systematically. Every sector is affected, so go to every sector and solve them systematically. The first thing I want to do is value orientation. It is very unfortunate that in Nigeria, you have people say very bad things about the country. You go to the news media, the good things are not reported from the government. You know, the good things the government are doing, the innovations coming up, and every other good thing is not reported. People want to see the bad side of the Nigerian government or of the Nigerian system. That's not supposed to be. As a US citizen, as a citizen of the United States of America, you are supposed to stand and believe in the values of the United States. And that's even a way of progressing for them. But for us in Nigeria, that is not happening. When I become president, value orientation is something I want to do. Try to bring the National Orientation Agency back to board. When I was much younger in 2014, I was very, very good into news, watching news and all of that. You know, we heard of the National Orientation Agency, the Minister of Information then, Labaran Marco, was going around states, sensitizing people on government policies and what they need to do as Nigerians. That is not even there today. Most Nigerians coming up do not know all of these things. First thing I will do is value orientation. The next thing we want to work on is agriculture. Nigeria, with a population of about 200 million, has a population of youth that is 70%. And it may interest you to know that we have over 70% of the Nigerian population involved in agriculture. Unfortunately, agriculture is on a subsistence level. So it's more like we don't even get export these things. Consumption to production is one thing I will stand for. We don't just consume, but we produce to export. By production and exporting these things, we're increasing our foreign exchange reserve and trying to boost the economy. Let me give you an example of many things happening already. Greenhouse is something I want to capitalize on so much. With the greenhouse system, you can have a hectare of land, maybe a 50 by 100 hectare of land, can even a 50 by 100 square meter of the land can even give you what a 1 million hectare of land can give you, because we have mechanized system and you have technology being brought into these things. Go to the north, we have most of these persons involved in agriculture, but they don't even get this funding, they don't get the support from the government. When I become president, I'll make sure that we get to fund these persons, get to subsidize, most of these inputs into agriculture, and create a value chain. A value chain of production to processing and to storage. So that you don't just produce, but you have an end point of your production. Now, why most Nigerians do not even want to believe in that is because, they produce most times and there is no end point to this thing. Go to Kano, there is a very large market of tomato. But where is all of this is happening? You have to even allow all of this to get perished over a short period of time because you don't have a processing facility. Go to Benue State, regarded as the people city of the nation. How many industries can you find in Benue State? Let me just say few. When I become president, I will make sure that states that go into agriculture have industries that put a value chain across all systems and make sure that we don't just consume, but we produce to export to other countries. The next thing I want to check is on economic empowerment. It may interest you to know that, yes, oil is what we have in Nigeria, and that's what is even being talked about. But oil, as of today, only contributes 10% to the Nigerian GDP. Agriculture contributes 23%. Banking and finance and services contribute about 44%. So why are we relying more on oil when we can, unlock other potentials in other places? Why just oil? Yes, we have oil. Oil is of revenue to fund the budget and all of those things. But why not go into other sectors? Why not get the funding from oil and take them to other sectors and bring the best out of them? In the 1870s, Nigeria had a very large volume of cocoa. But what happened? We had the white scale, took this seed from Nigeria, took it to Southeast Asia, and today, Malaysia is the highest producer of cocoa. Why? How did they do all of these things? They got this seed from Nigeria and made very good use of it. So why do we not even do all of these things? In the 90s, we are the largest producer of cocoa. Go to the north, you're into coffee, you're into textile, you're into granite production, and that even make the economy even flourish as at that time. But today, that is not happening. So when I become president, we make all of these things very important by bringing the right structure on board. In 2014, there was a national conference in Nigeria, and there was an advocacy that, okay, we should have state policing. I believe security is one of the main functions of government. In the 1999 Constitution as amended, the primary function of government is securing life and property. When I become president, I will make sure that every Nigerian is secure by having a restructuring of the police. I will restructure everything as at the conference we had in 2014, trying to make sure we have the state police. In Nigeria today, we have the vigilantes even doing more work than the police. So why do you have a police system in Abuja that controls the state, where you can actually restructure and have a state police that can liaise more with the people? Why do we have an IG of police appointing a commissioner to a state? when in essence, this commission is not even from the state and does not even understand how all of these things work. So when I become president, I will restructure the Nigerian system and implement the state policing to solve security. Because the security in Nigeria today is not even from external threat, it's even still within us. Go to the northwest, go to the northeast, go to the north central, we have different types of insecurity ranging from kidnapping, banditry, ethnic clashes and all. And I think another factor that leads to insecurity in Nigeria today is social justice, where people feel that they do not have equal rights, where a few persons will be selected over the others. I will make sure that social justice is being attributed to everyone in Nigeria. As a person, I do not believe in the Federal Character Commission. Why would we want to have a Federal Character Commission that wants to give a quota system admission to someone? How would you want to go to a school like maybe University of Maiduguri and you say, okay, because you are from the north, you are going to have some percentage over other persons. I believe if you are the best, get all of these things and make it work. The Federal Character Commission for me is something I will take up to make sure that every Nigerian is represented and social justice is granted to every Nigerian. Another thing I will look into is industrialization. I'm a very ardent reader, and one of the books I read, How Nations Failed by Baron Acemoglu, he said, nations failed because of lack of industrialization. Ghana today, before today, Ghana was the third world country, and we are there today, the among the fastest growing economy in the world. In production cost in in China is just 10%. Production cost in Nigeria is 40%. Why is this so? It is so because we failed to industrialize the Nigerian system. So industrialization is something we bring into God when we become the president. So I want to believe that the Nigerian system can work more than what it is today if we take care of the president.
That was amazing. Thank you so much, The Excellency Youth Executive Governor from Kogi State. We have had 5 so far, so it would be very nice if we have a speech before we now call the next set of other 5 executive governors. So judges, permit me to call one of our guests to deliver a speech on a very important topic, women participation in politics. And in doing so, I have the singular honor of inviting our own Hajia Nana Aisha Mahmood, the Group Board Chairman, Multipurpose Prestigious Organizations, to come and deliver a quick speech to us on the roles of women participation in politics.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor and a great privilege to be here. I've got a lot to say today, but I'm not saying anything yet. I want to ginger this one. Where are the presidential candidates? I want you all to stand up. Potentially, I will speak all the language I can speak. Why I DJ? But I'm on the same track. Give me that thing. Why all of you come out and dance? Why come out?
Just to reduce tension.
Why
Just to reduce the tension. That's a good one.
Why dance? thank you very much. We can also see that our presidential candidates are all on form. They've gone through all the obstacles, and today they are here. I want to assure you that you don't have to win. You are all presidents in your capacities. And inshallah, the best one among you is going to win. Sure. I've been introduced as Nana Aisha Mahmoud. I come from a background of strong, powerful women, and they have paved the way, and they have given me the opportunity to stand here. I'm a member of Jam'iyyar Matan Arewa, which made me the chairperson of SCT, mashallah. I'm also a member of different organizations. Coming from all the different organizations mentoring women, I stand here. One important aspect today I want us to look into also. We're always talking about women, 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 women. Today, I want us to look into the boy child a little bit. Let's not forget our men. We have to look and take into cognizance what we bring forth into the society. If we raise our boys properly, we're going to produce good husbands, good fathers, responsible leaders. So women, we are behind you. We're advocating for women. In doing so, please, I want to hear all the people in this hall to clap. I'm tired of this lousy applause. So please, we should look into that. It's very, very important in the society that we bring up responsible, strong leaders. If you support a woman, you stand by a woman, either you are a husband, a brother. I have a brother of mine in the audience. I had to force him, pull him out for him to come to this event. It is very, very important, whatever we are doing, please, we should always support our women. It is not easy for us to stand here. As I'm standing here, I'm trembling, shaking. You cannot imagine, but I'm standing here. So I'm going to take some few points I've jotted down so that we can digest it. This is for the youth. We have very responsible, very, very bright, vibrant, and intelligent people today who are contesting being for the position of the youth presidential candidate. I want to thank SRTV for this opportunity and this platform it has given these youngsters. And I also want to thank the president of Uncle's Mine, Presido. Well done, sir. For political system to be properly represented, all parts of society must be included, Young people are disfranchised or disengaged from political process. A significant portion of the population has little or no voice or influence in decision making that affects a young member's lives. And a key consequence is the undermining of the political system representative. That's about the young people. So please, whatever we're doing, we should try to include these youngsters in the making of our processes. To make a difference in a larger term, it is essential that young people are engaged in formal political process and have a say in formulating today's and tomorrow's politics. Inclusive political participation is not only a fundamental political and democratic right, but also a crucial to building stable and peaceful society and developing policies that respond to the specific needs of the younger generations. For young people to be adequately represented in political institutions, process and decision making, and in particular in election, they must know that their rights they must know their right and be given the necessary knowledge and capacity to participate in a meaningful way of all their lives. When there are obstacles to participate in formal institutionalized political processes, young people can rapidly feel disempowered. So young people active contribution can bring democratic values to life and lead into overturning of authentic policy practice. So it is important, whatever we are doing, we should not forget about these people today. We should not forget about the young persons in our society. We should carry them along, include them in our day-to-day activities, and show them the path. And I also call on you people, the younger generation, to be steadfast in whatever you're doing. Be consistent, be honest, don't forget to enjoy yourself during the process, and also make sure, have it behind your mind that you are going to be the leaders, or you are already the leaders of tomorrow. Not only tomorrow, your leadership starts from today. Thank you very much. It's an honor.
All right. Please, let's put our hands together for Hajia Nana Aisha for that sterling presentation on the role of inclusion. Leadership needs every one of us to be included. That means the subject of discrimination should never ever occur in the game of leadership. I hope we have learned one or two things from her presentation. Thank you so much. And now to continue with the remaining presentations from our excellencies who are eagerly waiting to come and present to us, the audience and the judges, about their plans for Nigeria when they happen to become the next president. Excellencies, judges, I have the honor of calling the next contestant, and this time around I am calling on the Youth Executive Governor from FCT.
Gentlemen, Your Excellencies, the impartial panel of judges, all important dignitaries present here, I say good evening. I am Mr. Yakubu Jafaru, the the Executive Governor of FCT, a vibrant contestant for the office of the Executive Youth President of Nigeria. I am honored to present to you my manifesto as I announce my candidacy for the office of the Executive Youth President of Nigeria. With Nigeria at our heart, it is time for us to envision a better future and take bold steps toward transforming the country. As candidate, I believe in a government that prioritizes the needs and aspirations of its people. My vision is to create a prosperous, inclusive, and sustainable country where every person can thrive and benefit from the opportunities it offers. I am contesting under the platform of our great party, Youth Emancipation Movement, YEM. Below are my 8-point agenda if given the opportunity to serve in this capacity. Point number 1 is education. Revamping education sector in Nigeria can be a significant way to bring about positive change and ensure a brighter future for our constituents. Here is a plan to revamp the education system in Nigeria. Number 1, there is what we call inclusive education. Inclusive education, we will adopt it in our government, and there is what we call early child education, and there is what we call sufficient funding on the education sector, because our education sector is not well funded in Nigeria. And number 2, we will fight poverty, that is poverty eradication. There is no way you will eradicate poverty in totality in Nigeria, but at least we will try to minimize poverty in the society. We will try to bridge the gap between the upper class and the lower class. There are some ways that we will adopt in minimizing poverty in the country. Number 1 is understanding the situation, that is understanding the poverty situation in Nigeria. We have to understand the situation of the poverty in Nigeria before we can fight it. And number 2, we have to set specific goals and targets in fighting poverty or in eradicating poverty. And number 3, we have to promote economic opportunities in our society. And number 4, we have to ensure access to quality education. And goal number 3, that is point number 3, is equity. One of my mandates is to emphasize and promote equity, access, equity among the people. There are 3 ways in promoting equity in society. Number 1 is through fairness. If there is fairness, we will promote equity. And there is what we call justice for all. If there is justice for all, equity will be promoted. And finally, there is what we call equal access to opportunities. If there is equal access to opportunity, equity is promoted. Further, we are fighting insecurity in Nigeria if we are given the mandate to serve. As we all know, insecurity is one of the factors that is leading the country backward. So we are fighting insecurity. Tackling insecurity requires a multidimensional and comprehensive approach. Below are some key aspects I will adopt to address insecurity in Nigeria. Number 1, I will assess the insecurity situation in Nigeria. Then number 2, we will strengthen the law enforcement agencies in Nigeria. And number 3, we will raise social awareness in society, and we will adopt what we call community policy. There is what we call community policy. And number 4, we have to improve the infrastructure in the security sector. And number 5, we have to support our local law enforcement agents, such as the vigilantes. And point number 5 is drug-free society. Achieving a drug-free society is a complex and challenging goal. But if elected, I will play a crucial role in implementing strategies to address the problem effectively. Below are some ways in fighting drugs in society. Number 1 is preventing and education. That is preventing having hard drugs in society and educating people on the effect of using hard drugs in society. Number 2, there is what we call treatment and rehabilitation of the victim. we have to treat and rehabilitate the victims of drug abuse in society. And number 3, we will partner with other institutions, stakeholders in fighting drugs in society. That is hard drugs. Number 6 is fighting corruption. It is not easy to fight corruption in society. Actually, no society can be 100% free from corruption. Because if there is no corruption in society, there is no essence of creating EFCC, ICPC, and other agencies. So we will try to minimize corruption in society. Fighting corruption, tackling corruption in Nigeria requires a systematic and comprehensive approach involving multi-stakeholders, strong legal frameworks, and robust implementation mechanisms. We will adopt the following ways in fighting corruption. Number 1, we will strengthen the rule of law in our society. And number 2, we will promote transparency and accountability. And number 3, we will enhance whistleblower protection. And number 4, we will strengthen the institution and capacity building in Nigeria. Then point number 7 is on infrastructural development. If we are talking of infrastructural development in society, it cuts across all sectors in the society. Either it will be under education sector or our health sector or under power sector. In improving our infrastructure in society, we request careful planning, collaboration, and efficient allocation of resources. Here are step-by-step ways we are going to improve our infrastructure in society. Number 1, we have to identify the infrastructure gap. We have to identify the gap in infrastructure. Then number 2, a comprehensive assessment. And number 3, developing a strategic infrastructure plan. And number 4, we have to collaborate with experts. Then number 8, job creation. As we all know, statistically, more than 67% of our population in Nigeria are youth. So we have to create jobs for our teeming youth. Our government, if elected, will create millions of jobs by investing in agriculture. Yes, we are going to invest in agriculture because there are thousands or millions of jobs in agriculture. So our government will prioritize agriculture when elected. We prefer agriculture than doing Okada or Kabu in society. Agriculture can give you a huge amount of money. So our government, if elected, will invest in agriculture. And there are many ways that my government will invest in agriculture. Number 1 is empowering the youth in our society. And number 2, we will collaborate with foreign investors. Let them invest in the aspect of agriculture. And number 3, we will make sure that there is enough of funding from the government to fund our agricultural sector. Thank you very much. These are my manifestos. I remain Mr. Yakubu Jafaru, the Executive Governor of this.
Please let's appreciate him. Thank you so much, Your Excellency from FCT. Invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, moving on to the next youth president, youth governor. Let's go to the south now. The youth governor from Delta State.
Good day, honorables. Good day, my amazing judges. Good day, your excellencies. And good day, every youth represented in the house. Great Nigerian youth! Great Nigerian youth! The It's such an honor to be here tonight. My name is Peace Erinwagadama, the governor of Delta State. And I stand here with great gratitude to God Almighty and with a sense of responsibility as I share with you my visions for Nigeria, My visions are beyond religious boundaries, they are beyond gender boundaries, they are beyond regional boundaries. First of all, I would like to give honor to whom honor is due, so I want to raise a salute to all of the past presidents and leaders of Nigeria who have taken Nigeria to this point. I raise a salute to all of the security personnel who have lost their lives in the process of taking care of this country. I also raise a salute to our current president, His Excellency Bola Asiwaju Tinubu, and every other leader that is working under him. I stand here to declare my intentions to be the next youth president of Nigeria. Now, I have key points that I would like to implement when I become the next youth president. But I will start from one. Looking at the history of Nigeria over the years, the girl child has been left behind from a very long time ago. They have been seen as weak, they have been seen as incapacitated, they have been seen as people that should probably be kept in the kitchen, they have been seen as people that probably should be used as sex objects, and much more. Coming into government, to be the next youth president, I will bring forth an inclusive government, focusing majorly on the youth and the girl child. We have over 222 million population in Nigeria, and 70% of that population are youth. And then out of that 70% of that youth population, we have much more youth that are female. So how then do you want to change Nigeria when you remove the women and then you have just few percentage of men and you say the youth are the leaders of tomorrow? Now I want to change that narrative. The youth are not the leaders of tomorrow, we are the leaders of today. We are now. We are here. And we are here to take over. How do I want to bring up this inclusive government? One, I will establish policies that will promote gender equality in education, in the health factor, and in employment sectors. No longer will there be segregation to say, oh, no, this is a job for a man, no, this is a job for a woman, no, because you're a woman, you can't be in the health sector, or because you're a man, you can't be in the health sector, or you have to be 40-something years to be in this job position. We don't want youth. I will bring up an inclusive government. I will implement targeted initiatives to empower and uplift the girl child and the youth of the now, such as scholarship programs, such as mentorship programs, and much more. With my position as the youth president of Nigeria, I will advocate for equal representation of women in leadership positions. I will ensure that the girl child sees a future with diverse role models. Now, why am I saying this? During the whole competition, the past 7 days have been amazing. Thank you to SRTV and all of the judges. One of my presentations talking about the girl child, the judge asked me, he said, you are talking about the girl child. You gave one woman an opportunity in Nigeria to lead in the ministry of something I'm not going to mention, and she failed. That was his word. He said she failed. And I want to correct that statement. I want to put it to you that, okay, one woman failed. If you are driving a vehicle and you got an accident, will you stop entering vehicle to your next location? Okay, one person failed. How about Okoche Iweala, who has made us proud all over Nigeria and all over the world? How about Dora Akunyili, who is making us proud? How about the first president in Africa, the first female president, Sleepy Kingini? How about her? How about the women who are making us proud in the football and sports, such as Asisat Fashola? Women are powerhouse. We cannot put them aside. If we want the growth of nation, we must include them. My first point. Two, I will bring up youthful innovations. I'm not here to talk about all of the problems of Nigeria because all of my fellow governors have spoken about it. I am here to talk about the solution. Youthful innovation and industrialization. Now, looking at the percentage of youths we have in Nigeria, we have a lot of them that are looking for jobs, I've met personally with a lot of youth that will tell me that, oh, I've been doing this product for a long time, I have not seen sponsors, I have not been able to get funds for this and that. I am a living witness. With my growing professional cleaning agency, Pepper Professional Cleaning Agency, for years we've been looking out for sponsors where we produce cleaning agents and all of that and run cleaning contracts. There are many other youths out there that have something amazing that can build the economy of Nigeria, but have not gotten support, have not gotten sponsorship, have not gotten adequate mentorship. Now, this is where my government will come in to bring up innovations. Look at the Aba market. We have one of the largest markets in Nigeria. We have one of the largest, most innovative markets, and we call it the China of Nigeria. Now, look at Aba. There are people producing every kind of thing. There's no designer product we bring to Aba that an Aba man will not turn and give you back. But why have we not implemented that? Why have we not harnessed that world to make Nigeria better, to build the economy of Nigeria? Now, this is where I will come in my government to ensure that more facilities are created for that sector, to ensure that better equipment are created, to ensure that those products that people produce, the youth produce, every of the initiatives, they are transformed into world standard products that can be exported. We need to go back to industrialization. Obasanjo, our previous president, one of them, which is Obasanjo, brought up a policy. He said, for Nigeria, by Nigerians. And that was how we began to produce textiles. Now we go all over the world with our proud Ankara, and you can show that I am a Nigerian. I am proudly Nigerian, because he brought up that structure. Now I will go back to that structure and ensure that Nigerians begin to produce our own brand. We are Africans. We are proudly blacks. We are Nigerians. We will be proud of our culture. We will take our culture to the next level. We will brag about it everywhere we go. And we ensure that these things are taught in schools, that we begin to embrace our heritage, and we begin to show the world who we are by producing every of our own equipment, by industrialization and by exportation. This means we can also encourage the economy of Nigeria. I will foster a culture of innovation. I will establish national platforms for youthful engagement where innovative ideas are not only heard but are actually matured. Most of the times you hear people celebrate people, oh, you are doing well, you are doing well. Oh, she's climbing 5-story buildings, she is doing well. It's not just to encourage them. I will bring up a government that will mature them and that will facilitate them. Now, I'll talk about security and we'll also talk education. I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest, to serve Nigeria with all my strength, to defend her unity and uphold her honor and glory. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, the Youth Executive Governor from Delta State. Now we have 3 more Youth Executive Governors to go. Judges, I now call on the Youth Executive Governor from Borno State.
Thank you very much, Mr. DJ. My respected judges, standing on the already established protocols, I am no one but Muhammad Taha Umar, the Executive Governor of Borno State. Aspirants for candidate for the office of the next youth president under the Progressive Movement Party, PMP. If given the opportunity to serve as the next president of Nigeria, I will work tirelessly, because as a visionary and motivated individual whose motive and vision is to serve humanity, is to see a better Nigeria, a Nigeria that is working, a Nigeria that will proudly call it our own. Thank you. Starting with my first agenda is a progressive agenda of national unity. We work on seeing how we can unite our country. Nigeria is blessed with more than 200 million population, but unfortunately, Nigeria is divided. We'll work tirelessly to see how we can unite Nigeria to work under one family, unite Nigeria to see with progress. How will I achieve such motives? We will start by what? Engaging and educating our youth, engaging our leaders, bringing together a forum in which our leaders and traditional rulers will come and discuss on the what? Objective of uniting our country. We will engage and disseminate our employment, our appointment, ranging from what? Our ministers down to our board directors. We will see how we can disseminate it across the zones so that each and every member of the zones will feel involved in such movement. If given the opportunity, we will also work on our security. As we all know, security is a very issue that is affecting Nigeria today. We can, a poor man, you and I cannot sleep with our two eyes closed. So we work tirelessly to see how we can provide security to Nigeria. As a person from the Northeast, Borno to be precise, I have encountered a lot of insecurity challenges. So I will work tirelessly to see how I can provide security. We first of all start by what? Educating our Nigerians on security tips, so that we will be aware of some of the things that will be guiding our security. We will come up with a policy or an operation or a campaign of Operation Safeguard our community. How will this work? We will start by what? Bringing the local policy. We will encourage our vigilantes. We will bring a policy that each and every member, if you try as much as possible to safeguard your house, and safeguard your neighboring community, I think this will start by and will bring a policy that will safeguard our community. If each and every one of us will safeguard his community, as we can see in our dear state, it is when the youth in the state beat the chest and say that enough is enough for this insecurity. We carry the stick. We started pursuing and tackling our insecurity in our dear state with a stick and a cutlass. That's how we start to eradicate insecurity in my dear state. So we will also improve the welfare of our security personnel. We will employ much security personnel, ranging from the army down to the police, down to our paramilitaries. We will bring the policy and adopt the United Nations standard of 1:400 policemen. So we will try as much as possible to employ more and more police in our dear country, so that our youth will be involved. Our youth will not be staying without job. Our youth will be engaged, so that there will be low crime in our dear country. Moving next is our education. Our education will be our topmost priority, because we know for a country to develop, it has to prioritize on its education sector. We'll work on the United Nations standard of UNESCO standard of 25% of our budget will go strongly to our education. Why? Because if we educate our youth, we educate our citizens, our country will develop. We also bring and we constitute the National Research Implementation Institute, in which our researchers in our universities, our researchers in our polytechnics, our researchers in our colleges of education will be looked critically to be implemented, so that we will transform our education center, so that we can develop our country. If we will be able to see, if we can know how qualitative our substances in our institutions, in our libraries, in our universities are, if we can know how enriched such researches are, if we are able to implement them, bring them to practice, at least we'll try as much as possible to develop. We invest hugely in our education sector, so that our youth will be much educated. We'll work on giving a free education on our basic and secondary education. We'll also work on scholarships to our tertiary education, so that our Nigerians will have a better education under our administration. Next, we will work on our agriculture, starting with the restoration of the Operation Feed the Nation of our entire country. We will start by implementing educating our Nigerians on the importance of our agriculture. As we all know, in the 70s and 80s, agriculture contributes about 54% of our GDP. Why now? Why is it declining? Nigeria is losing billions of dollars due to decline of our importation and to rely of our exportation and relying on importation of our goods. It will surprise you that today in Nigeria, toothpick is being imported important to Nigeria. Tomato paste is very important to Nigeria. This is a very highly devastating situation that we cannot sit and see such working in our data company. How do we achieve this operation, feed the nation? We will start by saying advocating for a Nigeria that each and everyone should work on producing at least one crop, be it grow up one single crop or rear one single animal that you will be able to feed yourself alone. If you believe feed yourself alone, then you see what, yes, I have what, transformed and developed myself. Then with the excess you have in rearing or producing such crop, you can be able to sell it to your neighbor. If you be able to cater your community, so I can get profit in this sector. So you start what, producing more and more. Before we know, we can escalate to the extent that we can importing more and more agricultural products than importing it. I will improve, we will try as much as possible to give surplus to our farmers so that they will be able to work and produce more and more and large equipment. We will also work on our side so that we will be having storage facilities that will be storing our crops and other agricultural products. We also work on our transportation. As we all know today, some of the high developed countries like Dubai, we can see United Arab Emirates, they have the Emirates Airways, in which they are producing and gaining a lot of internally generated revenue. If today our aviation sector will be reformed, our aviation sector will be will function duly. I think with this, Nigeria will be able to improve its own aviation sector and we work on our road networks. Our road networks need to be reformed so that our farmers. Thank you very much. If given the opportunity, I will serve you well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, the Youth Executive Governor of Borno State. And now we have just two more excellencies to go to the next item, which is, of course, award presentations. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, kindly stay till the end. Now I call on the next contestant, the Youth Executive Governor from Kano State.
Thank you, MC. Thank you, the judges, my fellow colleagues, the audience. Good evening to you all. Before I proceed, I would like to share a moment with the people present here and thank SRTV for giving this opportunity. Actually, I have, as a common man, a person coming from a family without any politician, any royal connection or something, I have never expected this great opportunity to be given to me. Thank you very much. I'm also, I am by name Musa Salim, the Executive Youth Governor of Kano State. I think among the contestants here present, the person with the most training and the most qualified candidate, ranging from the courses undergone, ranging from United Nations Fellowship and also the Leap African Fellowship. But without wasting time, let me proceed. I envision a united, prosperous nation where there is no nepotism and each and every person will have sense of belonging. Where a common man has the opportunity to showcase his potential. Where the common man will feel no difference. And also, this manifesto today focuses on various aspects, ranging from the economic aspect, the economic empowerment and job creation. With respect to economic empowerment and job creation, we are going to try as much as possible to diversify the economy, ranging from the GDP aspect. If you observe our country now, it is among the top 40 in terms of GDP. And also, in terms of the PPP, purchasing price parity, it is among the top 30. But the question that I have here to the people sitting down here is that why is it that we are among, in terms of the HDI, Human Development Index, we are among the 100, and we are among the 169, among the last 20. So the question here is that we have among the people with the highest GDP and with people with the highest PPP purchasing power parity, why is it that we are among the last 20 in terms of the Human Development Index? We are going to try as much as possible to promote youth empowerment because, as we all know, an idle man is a devil workshop. We should either create an empowerment for the youth or they create an opportunity for them. If you consider the world record, Nigerian youth are among the highest people in terms of cybercrime. So how are we going to reduce that? It is through youth empowerment. And also, we are going to try as much as possible to promote small and medium enterprises. Because as we all know, any developing country or any developed country, it is the small and medium enterprises that keeps the economy revolving around. And also, with respect to education, we are going to try as much as possible to improve the quality of the education and also improve the welfareism of the staff also. And also, we are going to try as much as possible to promote skill development in order to bridge the gap between the academic aspect and also the theoretical aspect and the practical aspect in order to address the challenges that the youth and the student who face in the 21st century. And also, with respect to scholarship, we are going to try as much as possible to issue scholarship irrespective of the family or the background or for the less privileged to address their issue in terms of academic support. With respect to healthcare, we are going to try as much as possible to improve the welfare of the staff and also improve the facilities and the quality of health sector in our country. We are going to try as much as possible to promote health insurance irrespective of the family or the background, irrespective of the employee and his income. We are going to try as much as possible to facilitate this health insurance. And also with respect to disease prevention and control, we are going to try as much as possible to address the issue of prevention and control, ranging from issuing of insecticide net and also fumigation and other things, measures that has to do with addressing disease and controlling it. And also with respect to infrastructure, we have to believe that as far as we are concerned, infrastructure creates development, and also the development will create opportunities, and opportunities will create businesses, and the businesses will generate more taxes. So with respect to that, we are going to try how to promote our roads and transportation system in the sense that we will facilitate the linkage between the rural area and the urban area. And also with respect to water and sanitation, as a fellow of the United Nations, fellowship that I have attended, class of 2022, I will see try as much as possible to promote SDG 6, which is clean water and sanitation. And also in terms of energy, as far as I'm concerned, the hydro power that we are using in Nigeria cannot address our power shortage and other things. So we are going to try as much as possible to regionalize our power sector. From the North Central, we are going to try as much as possible to utilize the volcano, ranging from Jos and Benue, we utilize the volcano in the sense that we will use geothermal energy. The axis of Lagos and other states that have ocean, we are going to use tidal power in the sense that the wave that is coming, we will use that wave that is coming to utilize and create and generate electricity. The axis of Northwest, we are going to try as much as possible to utilize the power of wind and solar energy. And also, with respect to, we are going to use other means that we can use in order to generate electricity, which are environmental friendly to facilitate that. With respect to security,
thank you so much, Your Excellency from Kano State. And this brings us, I will now call on the last on my list of presidential contestants. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's welcome the Excellency from Gombe State.
Special performance. judges, chief sponsors, organizers, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to also welcome my sisters, my nieces, and my nephews here present. I am Patrick Chilo, all the way from the state of Nigeria. Well, with my wealth of experience in politics, military trading, administration, and passion for a better Nigeria, I stand here today to declare myself an aspirant for the next president of Nigeria. Having said that, I came up with a 5-point agenda which I tagged Operation SACH, which is security, agriculture, girl-child development, employment, and education. Now, as I said in my introduction, I have a little training in the military, and then having come from the Northeast, we all know it's a place where we have always witnessed and experienced security problems. Now, when elected into office, I will ensure that security personnel are first of all well-trained in the aspect of insurgency, because that's one of the reasons why we like security issues in the Northeast and Northwest as well. Now, after training these people, you ensure that the right people that are supposed to manage these right offices, like the artillery, infantry, and the likes of them, are deployed to such places to ensure that security is well maintained. Now, let me not just fall on the police or the soldier. We have to inculcate that oneness in the military aspect, where we talk about the drugs, the police, the paramilitary in general, and then the military arms of the government, where they come together and work as one. I think by doing that, we'll ensure a proper and good security outfit for our country. Now, after saying that, we must ensure that the people on top of this military and paramilitary people are well scrutinized to ensure that appointments are made amicably for those that are ready to serve and have passion for this. That's to say a little about security. We're now going to agriculture. Even though I tag agriculture as agriculture and roots, because we cannot move agricultural products without good roots. So first of all, we'll start tackling the road sector, where we'll ensure that all the road contracts that have been awarded in the past and have been neglected are being scrutinized and being checkmated and executed. Now, just to say a little on roads, since I'm actually talking about agriculture. Agriculture is one of the top things I will look into in my government, because a country where there's famine, nobody works, because without food you can't even perform. So ensure that our farmers are well educated on farming processes. They are being supplied by seedlings, fertilizers, and so on. And then finally, sometimes the problem is not even the agriculture. How do you expose these farm products after everything? The government will bring up, my government will bring up a policy whereby the government will be able to provide an avenue where farmers can bring their farm products for the government to buy at a very subsidized rate to encourage them and help them, while the government now use this back for manufacturing and production of food products in order to ensure that there's food in the country. Now, the girl child is something that every man sometimes neglects, because we're always gender sensitive. But I feel my government will work on the girl child so much that the girl child will not feel the society, because first of all, we will ensure that the girl child has an equal rights with every other male child in the country. We will ensure that in rural areas where the girl child cannot really go to school, we will try and create policies where they can have free and fair treatment by means of probably free education for the girl child, production of by presenting sanitary issues for them, and then ensure that there's a policy that guides the girl child through. Because sometimes you find out the teacher will say, okay, yeah, you need to just sit down, and then. So all those things, if we can work on them, I think we could do better. Girl child. Now, talking about education generally, Our education sector is dying not because there are no professional teachers, but rather because there are so much private universities, private secondary schools, and so on. So my government will ensure that we work on the government schools by actually renovating, building, and training these teachers to the standard where we want them to do. And then secondly, I will actually add tax on private schools so that it will make it a bit difficult for those that feel they are rich in the society to oppress those that don't have in the society. By that we will to balance education. And then finally, employment. In my employment, there are so many other factors we'll talk about. When I talk about employment, we'll talk about, first of all, we know that normally employment is for the youth, because I don't expect a 60-year-old man looking for employment. So we'll ensure that the youth, first of all, about the use of drugs, about the need to go to school, and then the need to remain in school. So we'll ensure that we eradicate drug on the streets. That's one. Two, ensure that we renovate, build infrastructures for education and make it a very comfortable place for learning. And then finally, I'll read my conclusion, which my administration, after the 5-point agenda, shall ensure that all other walks of life are checkmated by means of committees and policies my administration shall create, so as not to allow any loopholes in our administration. So help me God. And my vision for Nigeria is a greater Nigeria where the rich and the poor cannot be easily differentiated, nor experience religious and ethnic group clashes. I stand for Mr. President under the Future Generation Party, FGP. Thank you.
Please let us present the executive governor from Gombe State. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, with the presentation from the executive governor from Gombe State, we draw a curtain to the presidential contest for today. We have had presentations from 10 youth executive governors, all vying for the office of the president of the nation. So what do we do now? We wait for the judges to do their work. We all anticipate what the judges will have to bring to us on who will emerge as the next president of this club. So distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I call us all to please put our hands together for the excellency that made the presentation, because it was not easy for them. Thank you so much. So moving on to the next item on the agenda, while we anticipate the judging from the judges, may I please acknowledge the presence of an important personality that came in while the presentations were ongoing, Mr. Kelechi Ugu Eze, the CEO of Spring Classic Renewable Energy Group. Sir, you are welcome. Together with his team, we are happy to host you this evening on the SRT. Thank you for coming. And all other important people that came in while the presentations were going, those of whom we cannot call their names, please be assured that we acknowledge your presence and we are very, very happy to have you with us this evening. It is now time, before we unveil the awardees, it's now time for us to listen to a remark to be delivered by the head of operations of the SRTV, Mr. Kenneth Paul. Okay, Mr. Kenneth Paul, we don't have him.
Where's my spouse now?
Your spouse is with you. So,
all right, please let's put our hands for the head of operations of the SRTV, Mr. Kenneth Paul, and sit down on stage
Add our last total score.
Yeah, the point.
With the point.
No, the last, like the 2 points.
Divide by 4 will give us the points. No, we are 4.
So the points, we are not taking the points. We add all the points. No, that one is separate.
The clap for
What we are saying now, let's start with
program.
Our first statement is...
The next President reality TV show is beyond what so many of you see today. If there is any testimony of this show, it starts with me. The first time I set my foot in Abuja was in 2021, and I came to Abuja because I was a contestant on this show. And today, I'm the head of operation for SRTV in Abuja. So you see, the show is beyond coming to contest. It is an avenue for us to engage young people. We believe this is a place where people spot talent, just like I was also spotted by SRTV, and then I was nurtured, and today I'm going in leaps and bounds in the broadcast industry. But you see, this show cannot be successful if we do not understand the vision and the mission of this show. The vision of the next presidentiality TV show is structured around youth involvement in politics. It is about grooming leaders that will lead today, because we do not believe that youths are leaders of tomorrow. That has been the notion that they've used in putting the youth at the back door. The youth are leaders of today and will move to tomorrow. We believe that with this show, it goes beyond coming to contest, having a manifesto. In fact, most of the people you see on the show don't even know what is called a political manifesto until they get on the show. And we're trying to change the narrative where we have politicians who climb the podium and they tell you that they will build roads, they will build schools, they will build hospitals. They don't show you the manifesto, they don't tell you the plan. They only tell you that they will do it. We don't know how they will do it. We don't know where they will get the funding. We don't know how they will create a fiscal policy that can support such enormous projects. And at the end of the day, when they get to office, the next excuse we have is there is no money in the treasury. There is no, the civil servants are not ready to do the job. But if you have a manifesto, if you have a plan, as a politician, as a leader, when there is a plan, it's easier, it's better, it's more accessible for you to go back to the original plan you have, and then when you look at the blueprints, it becomes easy for you to do what you want to achieve. This is the third edition of this show, and I can tell you, the past two editions has not been easy for us. We've done this without funding. We've done this solely without any one naira coming in from anywhere. Even up to this time, we do not have any sponsor for this show. And that is why today we're trying to see how we can launch the next President's Youth Trust Fund. The reason for launching this trust fund is not because we need money as an SRTV, or as SRTV as a company rather, it's because we see the potentials in these young people. We want to make sure that when they leave this show, they have something kept for them somewhere. In fact, let me tell you that the fund is not enough to tell them, hold this money for yourself. When you want to contest for an election, go get a political certificate with it. When you want to go finance with it. When you want to be on TV, sponsor yourself with it. These are the impediments that make young people seem that they do not have the capacity to lead. I tell you, young people can lead this country. Young people have the capacity to lead this country. Young people are leading this country already as it is. All the policies you see the government come up with, look in-depthly. These are policies structured by young people who work as SS, as PS, and they are just kept behind. Nobody puts them in front for them to get the recognition they want. We are not interested in getting the office. We want to make sure that a large proportion of young people are in politics. A large proportion of young people get into leadership positions. And then we go back to the mission. How do we accomplish the mission? It cannot be accomplished without your engagement. If you see someone here today, the youth governor of a state, maybe your state, maybe a state you have an interest in, maybe a young person you see you have a liking for, please engage him. Please call them out. Ask them how you can support the vision, how you can support the mission, how you can help them get to the pinnacle where they want to be. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to tell you that even as we are here today, we have previous governors who have been on this show. SRTV was able to engage them one way or the other. Let me also remind you that the moderator for today's show was once, I will say once, permit me, because of course your tenure ends today, is the existing youth governor for Plateau State. SRTV identified him. He did not start it here. He had been doing it. He's Sani and Actus, all the way from ABU's area, right, sir? He has been able to hold tech days in Bauchi. He's involved in a lot of things, and we have to give him the platform today. Even he might be doing this on pro bono, but it's a way for us to put him out in the world, for more people to meet him, For him to be more exposed, this is what we want to achieve with the next presidential. It goes beyond politics. It goes beyond office. It's a place where we engage everybody. We believe in the potentials of the people we see here. I've been with them in the house for the past 1 week. I can tell you up close what they do. In this place seated, I have past student union leaders. In this place seated, I have a medical doctor who in fact went as far as treating his fellow housemates who got sick in the house, free of charge. In this place seated, I have a farmer who has over 2,000 birds in his farm. In this place seated, ladies and gentlemen, there are so many potentials. Why can't you identify one today? I want you to nurture one. I want you to adopt some of them. Let me tell you also that the next presidential reality TV show will not end here. It is going to be a continuous process. It is going to be a process of engagement. It is going to be a process where we expect every one of you to get engaged, to get involved. On behalf of my CEO, I really want to thank everybody who has come here today, and I want to pass this message to you. Please assist us. We will not survive if we continue running like this. We will get to a stage where we'll get to, and we will not have the power, we will not have the will, we will not have the strength to continue. But with your help, with your support, not to us, please, to these young people. We want to be able to see a governor emerge in real form, not in a virtual form, from this show. It will be more satisfied the day I see a House of Representatives member seated here within me and say, I was once a contestant on the next presidential. You're welcome today. I hope we've been able to host you well in our own capacity, but at the same time, we'll be more happy if you host us by hosting these young people. Thank you, and thank you very much.
Wow, I think he deserves a bigger round of applause. That was not only a beautiful presentation, but a very, very inspiring one. Telling us what the SRTV has been doing from the first edition, second, and now the third edition of this reality program. I am a testimony that the SRTV has impacted my life. It's not my first time being on a stage, but SRTV has offered me that value, that today when I look at my videos, I take pride in them, and then when people see, they get to know that I can actually do something and I can actually speak in front of people. So that has been constantly adding value to me, and I am very grateful to the SRTV. So everything that he has mentioned, Mr. Kenneth, and everything that he has mentioned is just very inspiring. And if we can support the SRTV, I'm so sure that they can be able to do bigger programs. They can be able to do it not only annually, but quarterly, so that we can have more and more young people being mentored and empowered with the necessary skills that they need to thrive in this political environment that we call Nigeria. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have had a lot of English language, a lot of talks, a lot of presentations. Can we please, DJ, can you please give us a short music break before we sort out our awards, and then we go directly into giving the awards and announcing the winner of this TV program. So DJ, please kindly entertain us.
Many are called, but few are chosen.
So you're among the chosen ones?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me, what are your expectations for today's event?
I expect more than expected, because from what I've been seeing more than expected earlier. So like I said, they say many are called, but few are chosen, but I believe that everybody that came to this place, everybody is going to learn one way or the other, directly or indirectly, because definitely I'm learning already. Yeah.
So now, talking about the next president reality show in general, what can you say about the show?
It is the event. It is a great show that the world needs, not just Nigeria. We are not going to limit it to Nigeria.
The world in general.
The world in general, yes. And it's actually like grooming the youth, your young leaders. It is grooming our people entirely, because it actually like helped my life. It helped my life. Yes, I had a lot of impact I've made.
Can you tell me, like you said, it helped your life,
yes.
A lot of impact, like what and what?
And you see, for any development, there has to be exposure. So I was exposed to new things. I've been able to meet new people. I've met great minds. Yes, I met a lot of people, and these are what can contribute to my own personal growth. So it's a very great show. So I really commend SRTV for bringing this kind of show to Nigeria. because I know definitely it's going to the world.
Okay, now let's talk about when you're in the house, right?
Okay.
So how were you feeling like mixing up with every other housemate and all of that? How are you feeling like all this period of time?
Actually, I've met a lot of people, but the people I met in this reality show are great minds. Like I said, they are grown people, they are young people, they are a lot of people from different backgrounds. So it is not really challenging. It is actually a good channel for us to network. How do we network? I tend to know great people. I tend to know different people from different backgrounds. Not knowing them, but I can see potentials in everybody. So yes, yeah.
I love that. Can you give me the word next president like? So call it like 7 times non-stop.
Next president, next president, next president, next president, next president, next president, next president.
Yeah, that's that audible what I wanted.
Okay, let's go again.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, next president, 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 and the next president.
Thank you.
All right.
Afternoon.
So can we get to meet you?
Yeah, I'm Honorable Ambassador Comrade Hassan Adamu Abdullahi. I'm the Executive Youth Governor of Jigawa State, representing the good people of Jigawa State.
Jigawa State. Yes. So tell me, were you among the first name?
No, I'm not among the first 10.
Oh, but I can see you smiling. Okay, so you look good. You look perfect. Like I love your outfit and everything.
Thank you
so
so
tell
much.
me, what are your expectations for today's event?
Yeah, my expectation of today's events, I want, I know definitely one of us will be the best, but I'm hoping among them it should be the person that can lead. Not person that can just rule sit down and fold his arms. I want someone that can lead, someone that can take us to the next level.
To the next level?
Yes.
So how did you been here?
It was wonderful. I'm happy meeting the youth governors of the 36th state, and I can see they are all intellectual, they are functional.
Okay, so what can you say about the next presidential in general?
In general?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping not even the incoming president, even me, I will be part of those that will support to upgrade it to the next level.
The next presidential?
Yes.
So talking about its positive impact, what can you say about it?
What?
The show itself. What has this show taught you?
Yeah, it has shown me humility, how to groom the leaders of today, not tomorrow. Because we are the leaders of today in the nearest future, not tomorrow. So this show taught me a lot, and I'm very impressive.
Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
All right, my name is Martin San. What else? Okay, I'm here for the next president show to know who is to be our next youth president. So I'm so very excited, and that's why I'm here.
Did you just come to know who will be the next president, or you're invited by somebody?
Okay, yes, I was invited by someone. Theophilus, yes.
Theophilus.
Theophilus. Yeah, I'm actually I came to present Kogi. I'm actually Theophilus's brother. Yeah, wow. So we are here full blood to represent Kogi and to take the trophy home.
To take the trophy, I love that confidence. That's cool.
Yeah.
So tell me, how do you feel being here?
Well, to be honest, I like the serene. The environment is so okay. I like the organization. People are doing very, very well. And for your invited guests, I know no one will have a bad experience here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what can you say about Theophilus as an aspirant? What can you say? Tell me, you have confidence in him to emerge the winner.
Yeah, besides being my brother, I have a 99.9% in Theophilus.
99.9?
Yeah,
wow.
He's a great leader. He has all sense of leadership. And I see him going further and becoming the president.
Okay, so what can you say about this show?
Well, SLTV. It's a platform I just knew 2 weeks ago, but I've known a lot about you people in just 2 weeks. So I would say that the show is a great one. It's a great one. I'll tell everyone who is trying to have a doubt in it, please come to SLTV. They are doing well. People who are authentic, people who are original. And I think we can work with you people too.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. So
You're
can you give me the
welcome.
word next president like 7 times non-stop? And you gotta say it
My village people will come here.
You gotta say it faster.
My village people will be here. My village people will be
I
here.
just say it faster.
My village people will be here. What should I say?
Next president. Next president.
All right, let's start. How many times?
5 times.
Next president, next president, next president, next president, next president.
You're not fast.
Next president, next president, next president, next president, next president.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Good afternoon, beautiful lady.
Good afternoon.
So tell me, how are you feeling today?
Oh, like Mr. Bro. I'm feeling happy, quite joyous, but at the same time, I'm not really happy because it's coming to an end.
Like, you don't want it to end,
I don't want it to end though, because the connection I felt with my fellow housemates and aspirants in the house was something else, I swear. So it's just like we just blended into each other. We connected so quickly, like people who had known for so long. There was no room for difference. There was no room for ethnicity coming in. In fact, you would even hardly believe that we had not even known ourselves prior to meeting in the house. So I'm happy that I'm here, but at the same time, I'm not happy because I'm going to miss them.
So can you tell us your name and the state you're representing?
My name is Joy Nkiruka Chukunanye. I'm the Executive Youth Governor for Enugu State. More
So tell me, how do you feel being here?
I feel happy. I feel happy. It was a new experience for me. I learned so many things. It was an avenue for personal growth. It was an opportunity to learn and relearn so many things as well for me. So I was very happy, and I'm still grateful for the opportunity that SRTV presented through the Next President reality show.
So tell me, how do you feel? What can you say about the Next President show?
The Next President reality show is truly the show for grooming future leaders. You come there, you compete, you meet people who are intelligent, you learn, you share experiences, they give you topics to, in fact, they'll make you to go and read, research a whole lot of things. And it's also a show that helped me to boost confidence, you get. Because initially I was not confident in myself, but coming into the house, I became confident enough. I'm sure I can stand anywhere now to present anything without having tension or whatever. So the Next President is a show that I'm recommending to anyone, even in the forthcoming edition, which will be holding next year. I recommend any young person who has interest in politics to join the Next President reality show. It's a life-changing opportunity, honestly.
I love that.
Thank
now,
you.
can you give me the word Next President? Say it like 7 times.
Next President. I'll say it 7 times. Okay. Next President. Next President. Next President. Next President. Next President. Next President. Next President.
Just looking at the camera. Good afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon.
Oh, you look so beautiful. I love your hair. I love your outfit.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I love yours as well. You're looking so sweet.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so can we get to meet you?
I'm Miss Henrietta Y. Joseph, the Executive Governor of Rivers State.
Rivers.
Yes.
Up Rivers.
Yes, sir. Up Rivers.
So tell me, how do you feel being here today at the Next President reality show grand final?
You know, it's so fun to be here. I'm so happy to be here. Yes, because we have gone a long way and today is the final. So we give God the glory for seeing us throughout being here. And now that we are at the finals, we pray that we're so